Alright guys, so we are now getting there. We have our complete user authentication system set up. Now we're going to start to work on the post functionality. So first thing we'll do is create a post controller. Let's go to controllers and say new file, and we're going to call this posts.php. Okay, make sure it's plural. And then let's put in our PHP tags and say class posts. And remember, all of our controllers need to extend the core controller, or else we won't be able to load models and views and stuff. Just like that. And we're going to create an index. All right, and then inside the index, we're going to load a view. So let's say this view, and it's going to be in the post folder, and then in index. Okay. Now we're going to set up our data right here. This is kind of the workflow that we've been using. So data is going to be equal to an array, but for now it's just going to be an empty array. And then we're going to pass that in. All right. So let's save that, and then let's go into our views folder and create a new folder called posts. And this is the workflow you would use if you were going to add anything to your application. If you were going to add, let's say like a product store or something, you could create a products controller, create your product model and your database table. If you were going to create like tasks or to-dos, same thing. So it gives you a common workflow for adding pretty much anything to your application. Okay, so in the views, let's create a new file called index.php. That's going to be the view for the index method, obviously. So in here, just to test it out, we'll say posts index and save. So now if we go back to our application and we go to /posts, now that itself should load the index method, because remember, index is the default method, and we get post index, which is what we want. All right, so let's work on that index page. So remember, we want to bring in the header and the footer, so I'm going to copy from one of the other views here. We're going to grab this, put that in, put this in here, and we'll change this one to footer. All right, so that'll at least bring in the header and footer. Then we're going to have a row. We're going to use a bootstrap row. Whoops, should be dot row using Emmet. So div class row. And basically what I want to have is I want to have two 6-column divs. On one side will be the title, on the other side will be an add post button. So let's say right here we'll say h1 posts. Actually, I'm sorry, we need to do the column first. So call md6, and then in here we'll put our h1 and we'll say posts. Okay, then we're going to create another div with the call md6, and in here we're going to put a link that's formatted as a button. So it'll be an a tag with the class of btn. Let's also give it btn dash primary, and let's do a pull right. All right, so that's our a tag. As for the href, we first want to put in our URL root. Okay, then we're going to go to /posts/add, which of course right now isn't going to work, but it will later. And then inside the link, inside the a tag, we're going to use font awesome. I can't remember if we included that yet or not. Let's see. So if we go to our main layout, or I'm sorry, our header, yeah, we did. We included font awesome. All right, so we're going to put in here an I tag with the class of FA for font awesome, and then also FA dash pencil, which will give us like a pencil icon. All right, we'll close that. And then we're going to say add post. All right, so let's see what that looks like. We'll save it. We'll go back to our /posts, and it should look like this. Okay, now we're going to have to fetch the posts from our database. We're going to do that in the next video, but before we do that, let's just add some through phpMyAdmin. So we're going to go to our post table, and we'll go to insert, and for the user ID, when we actually do this through our application, whatever the logged in user ID is, it's creating the post will get put in here. But for now, I'm just going to put, let's see, let me look at the users. Okay, so Brad has the user of ID 5, so let's put that in. So posts, insert, user ID is going to be 5. So title, I'm just going to say post 1. Body, I'm just going to say this what the heck is a test for post 1. Doesn't really matter what we put. And then this one, user ID 5, let's say title post 2. All right, so let's go ahead and add these. So we'll just click go. And now if we look at our database, we have 2 posts. All right, so in the next video, I'm going to show you how we can fetch these. We'll have to create a post model and then create a method inside there to reach into the database, grab them, and then we'll output them in the view.